Okay. Right. So this question, if you remember in the previous video, we were just stuck on trying to finish this. So what I'm going to do quickly, I'm just going to do question E for you. So I'm going to do question E for you. It says, find the gradient of the tangent to the graph of y equals to x minus 4 over x for question is. So the first thing you need to do, you need to write this properly and say that when you have x at the bottom, you need to bring it up and the power becomes negative if it was positive. So this negative, this one here at the bottom will become negative. Then what you then do there after that, you do dy dx. And once you've done dy dx, you then just sub in 1 for where x you put 1 or negative 2, depending on what you do. Now, if you differentiate x, we say that the answer becomes 1. And then for this one, we take negative 1 times by 4, but 4 has got negative, so it's negative 1 times negative 4, which is going to be positive 4. And then the power is going to go down by 1. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. Now, it's always a good idea to write it in this form. So bringing the x down, the power becomes positive. So it's a good idea to do this. Now, what we want to do now is to sub in x. Okay. So where x is here, you sub in that. It's not to do with the y here. So don't sub in negative 3, don't sub in 0. You only sub in what x is because this has only got x in it, right? So when x is 1, dy dx becomes, so when x is 1, dy dx becomes 1 plus 4 over 1 squared. Okay, because where 1 is, you just put 1 squared. Where x is, you put 1 squared. So I've got 1 there plus 4, because 4 over 1 squared is 4 over 1, which is 4. So that's going to be 5. Okay, so this is how you do these questions. You just sub in. Once you differentiate it, you just sub in. For question D, you expand them as you do quadratic brackets first. After you've expanded them, then you differentiate. So expand this first as quadratic, then you differentiate, then you sub. Question C, you just open the bracket, then differentiate, then sub in. Okay, so I hope you understand that. But see, if you didn't do them in the previous video and you want to pause the video first actually and do them before you mark, you can do that now. So pause the video and do them before you can mark them. Okay, hope you've done them. So you can just mark your answers then. Okay, hope you try that. So we're going to move on to the next bit now, which says that find the coordinates of the point on the curve where the gradient is negative 2. So we've been told that the gradient is negative 2 here. They want us to find what x is and what y is. First thing, you need to differentiate this to find what the gradient function is. So if you differentiate that, dy over dx is going to be equals to 6x minus 5. So 2 times 3 is 6, and then you got the x there. The 5x becomes 5. 4 disappears if you differentiate. Now, what they're telling us that find the coordinates of the point on the curve where the gradient is negative 2. So what we need to do, this is the gradient we're talking, this is a gradient function now. All we now need to do, we need to equate it to the negative 2 they're talking about. Equate it to that, and then use it to solve for what x is. Okay, so then I've got 6x there equals to negative 2 plus 5, because the negative 5 becomes plus this side. I've got 6x equals to negative 2 plus 5 is basically 3. Dividing both sides by 6, you're going to end up with 3 over 6, which is the same as a half or 0.5. Okay. So again, going to that, differentiate this. Once you differentiated it, equate it to negative 2 because you're saying the gradient is negative 2, and then use that to find what x is. The moment you've got x in your hand, so x, for example, here is a half, you've got that, or negative 0 or 0.5, use it to find what y is. To find what y is, you go back to this equation here. That equation will tell you what y is. How do you find y? You do 3 times by x squared. X is a half. Okay, so 3 times x squared minus 5 times by x. X is a half. And then you add 4 to that. They just add 4 to that. Okay, and then you simplify that. To simplify this, we've got a half squared is basically a quarter, because 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4. And then we take away 5 times 1 is 5 all over 2, and then we add 4 to that. Now simplifying, I've got 3 quarters minus 5 over 2, then add what? 4. Okay, now I'm going to stop there. And if you're stuck on how to do this, I would like you to go and watch my videos on fractions, how to add fractions and how to take away fractions. Okay, right. So what I want you to do now is to, if you pause the video and try question 3 and 4, please. Pause the video and try question 3 and 4 the same way. Right, so hope you try that. Now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to try and do question 4 for you. So question 4 says find the gradient of the curve y equals a squared plus 2x minus 7 at x equals 4. So I need to find the gradient first. So first of all, you need to do dy dx. So dy dx is going to be equals to 2x plus 2. If you differentiate this, 2 comes forward, so it's 2 times 1, which is 2. Yeah, and then the 2 at the top here becomes 1 basically. So that's why I don't write it here. If you differentiate 2x, right, you're gonna end up with 2. If you're struggling with that, you might want to go back to our previous videos on differentiating. Now we said earlier that if you're differentiating a number like this, it disappears. So this is the dy dx. This is the gradient function. Now to find what the gradient is when x is 4, we just sub it in. So when x is basically 4, dy dx, right? So dy dx becomes 2 times 4 plus 2. Okay, because x is 2 there. I mean x is 4, so you just times it. Right? So the answer is going to be 10 on that. So that's the first part. Now the second part, he says find the x coordinate of the point on the curve where the gradient is 0. Now we've been told that the gradient is 0. What we need to do, we need to say that dy over dx, which is the gradient, is basically equal to 0 because they've told us. But dy dx is this 2x minus 2 here. So all you need to do, write 2x plus 2 and equate it to 0. Okay? And again, once you've done that, you just basically solve. The 2 becomes negative that side. If you divide both sides by 2, you're going to end up with negative 1. So where the gradient is 0, where the line is horizontal, x is actually negative 1. You understand? So that's how to do this. So if you want to pause the video then quickly and if you mark your answer for question 3 and 4, please. So pause the answers, and then just pause the video and then just mark your work. Okay, hope you've done well on that one. So we're just going to leave that there.